So you think your accounts are safe behind a strong password? Maybe even two-factor authentication? Well, I hate to be the one to tell you, but you might need to think again. Hacking just isn't what it used to be. The whole game has been flipped on its head with the rise of AI, and the techniques out there are, frankly, scary sophisticated. Today, we're going to break down these new threats, see how they actually work, and most importantly, show you exactly how to defend yourself. Let's just start with a quick reality check right here. You probably feel pretty good about your two-factor authentication, or 2FA. You know, that little code you get on your phone. It feels like an unbreakable shield. But the truth is, modern attacks are now built specifically to get around it. Look, this isn't about fear-mongering. It's about showing you why it is absolutely crucial to understand these new methods. So where is all this new hacking power coming from? Well, a huge piece of the puzzle is artificial intelligence. AI has become this incredibly potent tool in a hacker's toolkit, and it's letting them launch attacks that are way smarter, way faster, and a whole lot harder to spot. Okay, let's dive into our first example, smishing. Think of it as smart phishing. It usually kicks off with an SMS text, which is where the SM comes from. But this is not your typical email with bad grammar and weird links. Oh no, it's so much more sneaky. One creator actually shared a story where they got a brand collaboration offer. The website looked 100% legit. The branding, the layout, everything. It was designed to make them feel safe, which made the trap almost impossible to see. And this right here, this breaks down the key difference perfectly. You see, with traditional phishing, you might get a fake URL, like facelook.com, and if you're paying attention, you'll spot it. But with smishing, the initial website looks totally real. You click around, you get comfortable, and then when you go to log in with Google, that's when it secretly redirects you to the fake page. By that point, your guard is totally down. It's so clever that it actually captures your one-time password in real time, completely sidestepping your 2FA. All right, get ready for this next one, because it's a truly mind-bending technique. What if a hacker didn't need to watch you type or install some sneaky software to figure out your password? What if they could get it just by looking at your keyboard? It's called the dull key attack. It's wild. See, over time, the keys you press the most, the letters in your password, they get worn down and look just a little bit duller than the others. So a hacker just has to snap a quick photo of your keyboard. Then they feed that picture into an AI that's been trained to spot those worn-out, dull keys. And from there, the AI just spits out a list of the most likely password combinations. It's a massive shortcut to breaking into your account. Okay, we've seen some pretty advanced AI stuff. Now, let's bring this down to earth a bit. Let's talk about something we all use every single day, our home Wi-Fi network. How exactly does a hacker get into one of those? We're going to walk through it step by step. First things first, you gotta understand that not all Wi-Fi security is created equal. This analogy here with the locks and keys, it's perfect. Think about WEP from way back in '97. That was like a lock that pretty much any key could open. WPA was a little better, like a lock where you needed a duplicate key. Now, WPA2, which is what most of us are still using, is like a lock where a hacker can just keep trying a bunch of keys over and over until they find the pattern. But WPA3, that's like a biometric lock. It needs your fingerprint. It is a completely different ballgame. So how does a hacker actually crack a standard WPA2 network? Well, it happens in 4 main stages, which you can see right here. Let's break them down one by one. The very first thing the hacker does is put their Wi-Fi adapter into what's called monitor mode. Basically, this turns their laptop or phone into a giant ear. Instead of talking to the network, it just sits there and passively listens to all the invisible Wi-Fi conversations floating through the air around them. Now that their scanner is on, the hacker starts looking for all the available networks in the area. They'll get this big list of every single Wi-Fi network they can see, including yours. And from that list, they just pick a target. Okay, now we're at the most important part. Whenever your phone or any device connects to your Wi-Fi router, they do this little digital dance called a handshake. It's basically an encrypted exchange of information that proves your device knows the password. The hacker's goal is to be listening at that exact moment to capture that encrypted data. Once they've got that encrypted handshake, it's time for the final stage, cracking it. They use something called a dictionary attack. It's pretty much what it sounds like. A program takes a huge list, a dictionary, of millions of common passwords and tries them one by one, really fast, to see if any of them match the handshake they captured. As soon as it finds a match, boom, they have your Wi-Fi password. It's just a brute force numbers game. Now, you're probably picturing some super hacker in a dark basement with a wall of monitors, right? But that's just not how it is anymore. A lot of these powerful tools are super accessible, and you can even run them from a normal smartphone. Let's take a peek inside the toolkit. So what's the engine behind all this? What's the software that can actually turn a regular old phone into a powerful hacking device? On an Android phone, one of the most popular tools is an app called Termux. What it does is pretty amazing. It basically installs a full Linux command line environment on your phone. This gives someone access to all these incredibly powerful networking and security tools, the kind of stuff that used to require a specialized laptop, but now it's right in their pocket. So how do you even use these tools? You use commands. And I love this analogy. Think about the story of Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. Open Sesame was the exact command needed to open the secret cave. If you got even one word wrong, nothing would happen. Well, the command line is exactly the same. You have to type the precise magic words to make the software do what you want, whether that's scanning for networks or launching an attack. All right, we've gone through the threats, everything from AI phishing scams to cracking Wi-Fi. Now let's get to the most important part of all. How do you build your own digital fortress? How do you defend yourself against all this? The biggest thing you need to remember is that good defense is all about having layers. So let's run through this plan. First, your foundation, your Wi-Fi. If your router supports WPA3, use it. It's a huge upgrade. For passwords, forget all that capital letter number symbol stuff. Length is what really matters. Aim for something long and memorable, over 20 characters. Next, just be aware. Always check the URL before you type in a password. When you're on public Wi-Fi, be on the lookout for evil twin networks. That's when a hacker makes a fake hotspot with a real name, like Starbucks Wi-Fi. And if anyone ever calls you and asks for an OTP code, hang up. A real company will never do that. And finally, some basic digital hygiene. Stay away from cracked software, never reuse your passwords, and if you want an extra layer of security, you can enable MAC address filtering on your router, which only lets your specific devices connect. And that really brings us to the core of it. In today's world, security isn't just about one strong password anymore. It's about understanding the threats and deliberately building up your defenses layer by layer. So I want you to take a second and think about your own digital life. Your data is a fortress. The only question left is, are your walls strong enough?